Hello, and welcome to this video on how to create activities in CMS. My name is Jill Birkin, and I am a Data and Evaluation Analyst here at DCYF, and I will be walking you through these steps. If you haven't already, please watch Part 1, How to Register Participants, before watching this video. Before we get started, here's an overview of activities in CMS. Creating activities in CMS begins with your approved work plan. The activity types, activity categories, and the service sites in your program's work plan serve as the shells for your activities. Creating activities in CMS is important because activities are what hold your attendance data in CMS, and attendance data are used to calculate several DCYF performance measures. For a list of your program's performance measures, please refer to the DCYF Performance Measures handout, which is located in the Resources tab in CMS. There are also a couple of changes in the new CMS with regard to activity creation. One is that case management is no longer a separate activity type. It is now an activity category under individual activities. Job placements are no longer separate forms under participant records. They are now an activity type. This video shows you how to create group activities, individual activities, job placements, and events. Now, here is a list of what you will need to create activities in CMS. An approved work plan, an active SFUSD MOU or contract, a program or agency CMS user account, and a list of participants to enroll in activities. So let's get started. First, log into CMS using your program or agency level CMS user account. The address is www.contracts.dcyf.org. If you are using an agency user account like I am, you will need to click on a program to access the Activities tab. Once you are in your program's page, click on the Activities tab from the left-hand menu. This takes you to the Activities page, which lists the activities that your program has created so far. After you begin creating activities, you can use these search fields and filters to locate your activity. To create a new activity, click on the Add button. From the Define Activity page, select the activity name/activity type from the drop-down menu. Note that the options listed here in the drop-down menu match the activity names and activity types that are listed in the Projected Activities form of your work plan. If you do not see your activity type listed here, please contact your DCYF program specialist about possibly updating your work plan. After you select the activity name/activity type, the fields where you can add in additional details will appear. The activity I selected is a group activity. To create a group activity, first, add details to the activity by completing the required fields as indicated by red asterisks, activity label or activity name, and service site, where your group activity will take place. Note that the service site drop-down menu is pre-populated by the service sites that are specified in your work plan. If you do not see your service site, contact your DCYF program specialist about possibly updating your work plan. Also, there is no right way to create an activity label. Please see the handout on Additional Tips for Creating Activities, which is in the Resources tab in CMS. In general, though, keep in mind that the activity labels are what will appear on the Activities page. So, create labels that will make it easy for staff that will be entering attendance to identify the correct activity. Next is the Specify Staff field. This field is optional. However, if you check Yes, then you will be asked to assign staff to this activity on the next page. When you are finished entering the required fields, click Create Activity. Next, create a schedule for your group activity by selecting single date or multiple dates for number of occurrences. Then enter begin and end dates, days, and times. Note that you must enter dates that fall within the program operation dates specified on your work plan. If the begin and end dates do not align with the program operation dates in your work plan, CMS will generate a warning message and you will not be able to proceed. If you need to change your program operation dates in your work plan, contact your DCYF program specialist. When you are finished, click Next. This redirects you to the Details page for this activity. Next, enroll participants in your group activity by clicking on the Enrollment tab. Click on the link, click here to enroll new participants. Enroll participants in your group activity by checking the names of the participants you would like to enroll in the activity. A A shortcut is to check the All button in the upper left-hand corner and then deselect youth you don't want enrolled in the activity. When you are finished, click Next. Review the enrollment begin dates. CMS auto-populates participants' begin dates with the begin date you selected for the activity. You may change these dates if necessary. When you are finished, click Next. Check for scheduling conflicts. CMS generates a list of participants who are enrolled in activities that are scheduled at the same time as your activity. If you want CMS to ignore these scheduling conflicts, check the Enroll box in the upper left-hand corner. When you are finished, click Next. That's it. Those are the steps for creating group activities in CMS, and your activity is now ready for attendance. Now, let's add an individual activity. To add an individual activity, click on the Add button from the Activities page. From the Define Activity page, select the individual activity name/activity type from the drop-down menu. Next, add details to the activity by completing the required fields as indicated by red asterisks, activity label, and service site. Like group activities, there is no right way to create activity labels. In general, though, it will be useful if you create labels that make it easier for your staff to identify and take attendance in their activities. Please see the handout on Additional Tips for Creating Activities. Like group activities, the Specify Staff field is optional, so if you check Yes to assign a staff person to this activity, you will be asked to do so on the next page. When you are finished entering the required fields, click Create Activity. That's it, your individual activity is ready for attendance. Now, let's add a job placement activity. To add a job placement activity, click on the Add button from the Activities page. From the Define Activity page, select the job placement activity name/activity type from the drop-down menu. Next, add details to the activity by completing the required activity label field. The guidance shared earlier for group and individual activities also apply to job placements. When you are finished entering the required fields, click Create Activity. That's it, you're ready to enter job placements. Finally, let's add an event activity. To add an event activity, click on the Add button from the Activities page. From the Define Activity page, select the event activity name/activity type from the drop-down menu. Next, add details to the activity by completing the required activity label field and selecting a service site for your event. The guidance shared earlier for group and individual activities also apply to events. When you are finished completing the required fields, click Create Activity. That's it, your event is ready for attendance. So those are the steps for creating activities. Now let's go over how to delete activities. To delete an activity, simply click on the activity from the Activities page. Make sure you're on the Details tab. Then click on the trash can icon. If there are attendance records for this activity, CMS will generate a warning message. Confirm the delete by clicking on the Confirm Delete button. Now, let's talk about how to drop participants and enroll participants. Sometimes you may need to drop participants from an activity. To drop participants from a group activity, simply go to the Enrollment tab of the activity. Click on the Bulk Drop button. Enter a drop date. This drop date can be a past date or a future date. After you enter a drop date, select the participants you would like to drop by checking the box next to their names. After this, click Next. Note that if the participants you selected have attendance records after the drop date, CMS will generate this warning message since deleted attendance data cannot be recovered. Confirm that you would still like to drop these participants by clicking Confirm. This drops the participants. To re-enroll or enroll participants into a group activity, simply locate their participant record in the Agency Youth page from the Youth tab. Click on the Activities tab above. Then click on Enroll. Then select the activities you would like to enroll the youth in. Dropping participants from an individual activity is a little different. To drop participants from an individual activity, simply click on the individual activity from the Activities page. This will take you to the Attendance tab for this activity. This tab lists all the individual activity records for this activity. To delete a participant, simply click on the trash can icon next to the attendance record you want to delete. Note that this only deletes the attendance record for that participant and not their enrollment. To drop them entirely from the individual activity, you must delete all their attendance records. Dropping participants from a job placement is similar to dropping participants from an individual activity. Click on the job placement activity from the Activities page. This takes you to the Placements tab for this activity. This tab lists all the placements that are entered into CMS. To delete a participant, simply click on the trash can icon next to the placement record. Note that this only deletes the placement record for the participant and not their enrollment. To drop them entirely, you must delete all their placements. It is not possible to drop participants from event activities because individual attendance is not taken for these activity types. However, if you would like to delete attendance in an event, simply click on the event activity from the Activities page. This takes you to the Attendance tab. To delete attendance, simply click on the trash can icon next to the date you would like to delete attendance from. So those are the steps for creating activities in CMS. In case you need additional support, here's a list of resources you might find helpful. You can find the handouts in the Resources tab in CMS. The videos are on the CMS login page. The How to Create Activities handout, Additional Tips for Creating Activities handout. Your DCYF Program Specialist is also available to provide support. And finally, the Data and Evaluation Team at DCYF at cmssupport@dcyf.org. Also, please remember to watch the videos on how to register participants and how to enter attendance. These handouts are also available in the Resources tab. Thank you for watching and have a great day.